Hi, camera serves as a mirror. You know that? You breathe. Pay attention inside. And we're going to do this a lot this week. The attention is on the body and the class. As we will learn a Siddhi made of bijas this week, which is about the breath and the body. Just be with your breath. Just be in the body. The Siddhi of this week is haum-sô. H-A-U-M. Haum. S-O. It's a hard O with an accent on it. Saw. So it's not so, it's saw. It's almost like dark A. Haum-sô. Haum-sô. And the way to practice it is super long. I'll repeat this later for those who join later. When you breathe in, haum, super soft. And when you breathe out, sô, in your mind. And what those bija do is they call in the prana in your body. When you breathe in the haum, it calls the H, the haum. It calls in the prana in your body. And as you exhale sô, the sô throws out the trash. The human body naturally takes in the oxygen and gets rid of CO2. So haum-sô goes much deeper than that. Okay, haum takes in the prana and some resources, the more or less classified resources, like the elements of Vishnu, if you want. So it calls in some supernatural resource into your body. Haum. And some of the negativity in your body leaves. Sô. That's when you do it as a Siddhi. Okay. In the back of the mouth, we have something that hangs out down. The French word is l'huette. What's the English word? Forgot. If someone knows, type it in the chat. You control that. You control if it opens or closes, okay? So when you do the haum, epiglottis, thank you. So when you breathe in, you'll bring your epiglottis just a tad up during the breath in, so that the inside of your sinus does the haum sound. Now you can't hear it there, but in your head you can hear a little, you know, which is not the haum sound. It's like simulating the H-A-U-M all at the same time. Then you're gonna exhale with like this, but saying S, to do the S and the O just in the breath out. So as you exhale, so, you don't do so, you just do the S, and the tongue is a bit tight in the back. So it produces a kind of sound, okay? So you do the aspirate haum-sô without actual voice. It's not haum because you're breathing in. No, it doesn't work. That's not the way to do it. It's creepy. And so there's no sound. So it's just, okay, just with the passing of the air in your mouth and nose. Okay, do it once. And then you rest. If you, while you're not doing the vocal sound, you're doing the aspirate sound with your windpipes inside, okay? Haum in and saw out. And it drags even more of this positive resource in your body. And the slower you do it, the more drag it does to that energy. You have to do it comfortable, not too slow, just comfortable. Let's do it again. So while you breathe in, you do the sound only with the windpipes of your nose, but in your mind, haum. And as you exhale, so, in your mind. So the actual vocalizes in your mind. It's a Siddhi. Okay. Dragging in all this positive resource from different plane because your mind is in there. So you're pulling from other planes also that resource in your various planar bodies. Okay. Whatever that means. Let's do it again. Yes, the saw is like more a whoosh. There's no sound. So it takes just a bit of training to get it. The physical sound is only produced by your wind cage in your mouth and nose. Haum-sô. And in your mind is a full bija. Aum. So. Okay. So in your mind. Let's do it even more complex. Do the 4 states of being, those of you who know about it, okay? Yeah, the mind is full of bija. You breathe, inhabit, feel, and observe. You go into the state of simplicity and hyperconsciousness. Conscious that you are conscious. Incarnate in the body. Awake in the mind. Happy with the Dharma. And for those who get it easily, stuff is happening. Pure self-consciousness. And we do the haum-sô breath on all planes, okay? Yeah. So the 4 states of being, 7 for those who know the others, but it's mostly the 4 states of beings. And you imagine and you feel that you're living the experience of haum-sô on all planes, following your physical breath. And then you rest on it. So when you rest on it, you don't making the noise with your body, you don't concentrate too much on the states of being. You just relax. But in your breath in, the Siddhi, haum-sô, will follow your breath in and out. Haum-sô. Okay? In with the resource, out with the trash. So on the emotional mental plane, it won't resolve your ego conflicts, your dense dark potentials, no. But it will circulate the surface negativity, just get rid of some of the trash. The surface trash that is not really stuck in you through potentials. It's a rejuvenating and purifying breath. When you practice the Siddhi, you actually practice it with the aspirated sound and the controlled breath a few times, 3 to 5 times. And then you rest in it with just the Siddhi in mind. When you're tired and need just that extra little push, a bit of haum-sô, if you can spare a minute, will help and will relax you. It won't compensate for actual sleep or rest. You know, the joke is when I have to work and I feel sleepy, I take more coffee. So I'm still sleepy, but now I have tachycardia because of the coffee and I still work. That's just not a healthy thing to do, you know. Sometimes our society is built that way, that we can't respect our body and rest when we feel like it, except at retirement, usually. But it is what it is. Yeah, we do our best. If you can spare a minute, you do a bit of haum-sô. 3 to 5 breaths, vocalize, sound define, you make the aspirate sound. And then you rest with the Siddhi a bit. So now that's what we'll do. We'll do an actual minute of it, okay? Let's do 4 for the principle. So before you do the aspirate sound, we take a moment to embody, transmigrate in the body, be conscious at the emotional mental plane. The dharma, the karma, the samjnana, for those who understand what it means. That just means be conscious as a soul. Okay? It's not really an extra fuss. Focus mostly on the human being conscious. And we do it. We start 4 breaths at your rhythm. All planes are following. Doing the 4 breaths took about a minute, so let's do another 30 seconds of contemplation. All right. Now, no technique. Give it time. So if it takes a minute to do 4 breaths, and I was doing it fast to adapt to your rhythm, most of you don't breathe as slow as a trained meditator, but I would do 3 breaths usually in a minute. If I do the haum-sô slowly and more calm on my own pace. And like when I practice non-breath, I would do 1 non-breath per minute. And I would keep this up for 1 hour. And it really trains the body. That's another completely different thing than non-breath. Don't practice this now. So the haum-sô breath, the breath of the alchemist, that we call. Now it's time to add another layer of difficulty. Okay? You've practiced haum-sô with the aspirated sound, and then just following your breath slowly as you rest. We're going to add on this at the beginning of every breath, you add another Siddhi, okay? Rasavada. R-A-S-A-V-A-D-A. Rasavada. Which means alchemy. Alchemy. In French, it's alchimie. I say it as alchemy, but it's alchemy in English. Rasavada with a D, like dynamo, dinosaur. Rasavada. I have a full class on Rasavada much earlier in the past videos. maybe in the past years. Rasavada means transmutation, alchemy. Okay? So you keep in mind transmutation. And when you start with your breath in, you're doing the haum in your mind. Rasavada. At one point. How do I do it? Okay, I tend to do it at the end of the in-breath, like almost in the pause between the haum and the saw. It's rasavada, like that's the Siddhi of transmutation. And I feel that all the resources that I've pulled are transmuting or working to fuel a transmutation of any imperfection in body into healthy nutrients. And the saw gets rid of the fumes that result of the transmutation power. I'd like your Raven to write rasavada correctly, or A-S-A-V-A-D as in dynamo, dynamic, discussion, da. Not a T like transformation, but okay, rasavada. Just so that it's in the comment written correctly. Thank you. So you're combining the haum-sô breath, the breath of the alchemist, with the Siddhi of alchemy. Okay? Let's do it. Now embody and do the full 4 states of being, or more. And a third breath. Rasavada. The transmutation process happens again. And now we're going to just rest meditatively. In your mind, there is the Siddhi haum-sô that follows your breath in and out. And now sporadically, rasavada, not linked at all with the breath. Just once in a while, when you feel, as your Siddhi training taught you, rasavada. Rasavada. So you're doing 2 Siddhi. One is the mechanical part, haum-sô, just following the breath. And the other one is rasavada, at any time a Siddhi would naturally come, which will be not in sync with the breath anymore. Okay? It's just the Siddhi of transmutation. And you relax. You relax the breath. You relax the 4 planes. You relax the technique. Okay, you got this? You get this? It comes with practice. It's a complex practice, okay? The breath of the alchemist. To summarize, we do haspirate sounds 3 to 5 breaths on how you feel it on that day. We do 4 breaths in that training. Sometimes I do 3, 4, 5. I don't really count, but it's about that. You do this while embodied in a state of hyperconsciousness. So you have to practice that also on its own. And as you do the breaths, first, just to put yourself in the mood, you only do the haum-sô and then relax for a minute. Then you start over again, adding the rasavada Siddhi of transmutation. And you need to feel the transmutation process happening. It's not just a Siddhi, you have to want it, apply it. I am being transformed into the ideal body at every plane, into the ideal state of being. And then after doing the mechanical breaths again, you just rest, following the haum-sô Siddhi with the breath, slowly as it happens, without the aspirate sound of the saw. And the Siddhi rasavada, as it naturally comes. Okay. So an empowered, active tantra. Tantra means many technique applied with will. And then a Siddhi relaxation or meditation. A Siddhi style meditation, just relaxing. 1 minute, 1 minute, more or less, with no timer. And in the end, you'll only do meditation. You'll just let yourself go, okay, I'll just let it go. And do Siddhi as you feel comfortable. Okay, 5 minutes, 10 minutes more. It's a lot of components together. Let's add one more. If you focus on a specific thing in your body, and you practice a transmutation, you need to have an idea of what you're focusing on, like rich in vitamins, okay? We're not so sure what it means for the blood to have all the vitamins, but think about in your blood a good quantity of vitamins. The rasavada process will take the vitamins already in your blood and multiply them using the trash in your blood as raw matter and transmute some into vitamins until it reaches a good balance for your body. Okay? So you focus on the trash is going to be transmuted into vitamins. Your focus is, I am balanced in vitamins. If you want to do minerals and vitamins, do that. You're going to feel more metallic in the mouth if you do it. So it's good. Let's do 2 breaths and 30 seconds of contemplating. Okay, so breathe, inhabit, transmigrate in the body, feel and observe the beauty of this chain of events. Hyperconscious. 2 haum-sô breath. Rasavada. The trash in vitamins, balance vitamins and mineral. Feel your blood balance in vitamins and mineral. And then we just let it go. We support with our mind the proper balance of vitamins and minerals in the body. As much as your body can take without causing a disturbance. Harmonious balance of vitamins, not an excess. If you think more vitamins, more mineral, you could have an overdose, like not an overdose like drugs, but too much for your body. It's not good for the kidneys or for the liver to have to process the excess of vitamins or minerals, okay? Harmonious balance of vitamins and minerals, all of them. With this in mind, 2 more mechanical breaths. Put your will into it. And again, you're relaxing in it. You're embodied, you are conscious. Rasavada. Transmutation happens. That was for the class. Usually, you would do 3 to 5 mechanical breaths just to practice the haum-sô sound, and more or less a minute of Siddhi. Just the haum-sô Siddhi relaxed. And you have to realize, when we have the relaxation phase, we tend to control the breath, because we just did in the mechanical part. Relax the breath. You have to go from mechanical and intense to relax and allowing it. Normal meditation or relaxation, contemplation, more or less. And once you've done one phase, then you add a rasavada. You do a second phase rasavada with no intention. A few mechanical breaths, a minute of resting. A third step is to focus on something specific. And a good balance of mineral and vitamin is a good thing to do. And if you're prone to power trips, you might have an excess. You might produce an excess. I want enough, and I can't not have not enough. I must have more. This will have an effect on your transmutation, okay? Could bring a mild imbalance, but it's okay. If your body has to deal with trash, or your body has to deal with a bit too much zinc, I mean, take a bit too much zinc, all right? But it's still not harmony. Abundance, as much as you need, but no excess. And that takes a state of being in your ego, in your human, of being satisfied of what you have of life. Not always addicted to more. Accumulate, achieve better objective, attain higher states. Okay. So the 3 masks of acquiring, accumulating, and attaining will play a role there. Being satisfied with what you have of life is a good attitude. And then you want to be healthy, so you create as much as you need. Okay? Good. For those who can handle alcohol without becoming alcoholic again, for those who can handle alcohol without being sick, you can play the game of having 2 consumptions of alcohol in a place where you will not need to drive, where no one is there to validate or observe. You have to be on your own. So yeah, like a loser, you're gonna drink alone. What is the stigma of being a loser if you drink alone? I love to be alone. And I love to have a drink. Just a little whatever, Grand Marnier or Port, or lately it's Di Saronno. I forgot the real name. Anyway, that's the brand. And it's not evil, and I don't take excess, so it's cool. I mean, get rid of the stigma. But if it makes you sick, if it can cause you to become addicted again, don't play with that. Okay, just don't screw with the system. Okay, but if you can purchase alcohol meters, a small device that checks your alcohol level. Okay, and you take 2 consumptions in 1 hour or less. Okay, you give time to alcohol to enter your system. You get to that mild feeling. You check your alcohol level. And then you do the haum-sô. Focused on the alcohol is just good water in your blood. Good hydration. Turn your alcohol into a simple sugar and water in your blood. And if you can get rid of the sugar, it's just pure hydration, H2O. It's basically, there's liquid, the normal blood liquid, okay? And you do your haum-sô for 1 minute, a few breaths. And then you give it a 30 seconds, something, and you test your alcohol meter, and you see the difference, okay? So, Shivagam is the first one who taught about this when I taught him how to get rid of alcohol in your blood when you have too much. He's the first one who did it. That doesn't mean you can drink and drive. Oh no. No, you should never drink and drive. Even if you have the alchemy power, sometimes. Because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Even for very experienced people like myself. Because there was that time I tried the haum-sô and nothing happened. Like anything supernatural, you don't choose. You don't always control it, okay? But play with that. Shivagam is the first one. He said in about a minute, he got to 0.0 on his alcohol meter. And then he tested it like 5 times. He has 2 alcohol meter of 2 different brands, and he just did a lot of this. So that was a funny game. Costs money, but it's a good way to see if you can just go. But something important, once you've done your rasavada transmutation on alcohol, you can get to a point of 0.01, 0.00. And after a minute, it switches back to alcohol slowly. Why? Okay. Alcohol has the base and energy of being alcohol. You do your transmutation in making it into normal blood, healthy liquid and vitamins and minerals, whatever, okay? It goes there physically, but it still holds its primal component, okay, of what it is. So it tends to want to go back. So it's not enough to get to the point of 0.00. You have to maintain it for a few minutes, a few mechanical breaths, some contemplation, and alternatives like this for, depends how long it takes for your mind, your consciousness to override natural intention. Okay, natural intention is the base intention of an object. However, it's easier to do with alcohol because alcohol is already in nature the result of a transformation. It's not transmutation, but it was recently fabricated. If you try to alter a piece of granite that has been granite for 1 billion years, it's going to be stuck there. You know, it's there. The intention is so firm in there. But alcohol has been alcohol for months, years. It was something else before. You know, So it went through a process of transformation. So the intention of this thing can be transformed is still in there. Okay? That's why it's easier to do with alcohol than other things. Also easy with cheese, because cheese is the result of a recent transformation in the past months or years. Okay? So it still holds this feeling that it is the result of a transformation. Because in nature, the intention nature is extremely slow. Like mountains move, but so slow. There's wave on the surface of the ocean, but the water is water since forever. Okay, so the base natural intention of what composes a thing is still in the mass of it, in the atoms, in the structure, okay, in the molecules. So practicing transmutation, do it on cheese or alcohol before anything else. And it will try to go back to its previous state unless you support it. So you do a transformation to bring it to a new state of being, like from alcohol to nutrients in the blood. And then you maintain it while it loses its past identity, its past knowledge of itself. Okay, even though it's molecules. So yeah, welcome to the wonderful world of alchemy. So yeah, let's do 2 mechanical breaths followed by 30 seconds of contemplation. Just that. The 4 states of being are just one. The 7 or the 10 states of being are just one. The 2 breaths. No Siddhi, no rasavada, it's just the breath, and then you contemplate haum-sô. You just rest, and now, as you normally breathe, the haum and the sa in your mind is your Siddhi. You need to practice this for a while before you can apply it to the rasavada, or before you add the rasavada. And practice rasavada empty of intention for a while before you can focus on a result, an alchemical process in your body. And if you can, if you think you want to try it on a cancer in your body, you have to consider that there's a reason why that cancer is there. It can be natural, could be emotional or mental, but it could be just natural. Maybe a source of radiation around you, or like it could be so many things. Discover with your doctor, your medical doctor, why it's there, and resolve the actual natural reasons why you could have grown a cancer. It could be also prone genetically, it could be your food. I mean, you have to take care of the normal medical world. And then on that, you will add some practice. But if you're in a hurry because you're panicking because the cancer is scary, and you just go right into the alchemical process, but you didn't train, this is not going to work. Or the results will be maybe unobservable, in the sense that you need to do haum-sô, mechanical breaths and resting, just the haum-sô itself, to get your system used to this new tool, this new process of pulling in the resource and letting go of what is not useful for you. Okay? Letting go of the excess trash in the world. And be patient. This is not something you force. Put the trash out. No. some of it will leave as it can relax at its own rhythm. That's why we need to do it a few breaths, rest, and then a few mechanical breaths, and rest again. Then you have to train the rasavada just for itself. Maybe not even the breath, just the rasavada. The Siddhi of alchemy. Rasavada. Just to get used to just the feeling that it produces inside. Then you combine haum-sô and rasavada in the mechanical breath and then the Siddhi application. Just that. Then, and I mean like 1 week of training per stage. Then you start playing with alchemy. And you test your stuff on easy things like cheese and alcohol. Okay? Yeah. A decade or so ago, I told my people, don't try to change water into wine. If you want to do it, by the way, you need to have a few drops of wine in your water. To remind you the story of Jesus, he had water poured in the jars where wine was. So there are traces of wine. So the wine molecules can be multiplied into the rest of the water. And it has to be a product that you use to consume. If you don't drink wine, don't do it with wine. Do it with orange juice or apple juice or, I don't know, whatever you drink. Beer, a bit harder, but possible. It's like one of my students did not have the fizz of the beer, so he was drinking like a flat glass of piss. And it was like only a flavor. He didn't do the full transmutation, while other students have done full transmutations. So you need to have a few of those drops of the product that you need to drink a lot in your life, so your body and your mind understands the feeling of the product. Then you can project it in your glass of wine and do the transmutation. So yeah, you do in your body. And once you're trained, you transmigrate in the water and you do it there. And you try to give a flavor to your water. Okay? Your favorite fruit, try to give that flavor to you, the flavor of your favorite fruit to your water without putting a piece of fruit in there. Just with your mind. See if it affects the flavor. If you have the luck to be with two Mahajariyans, two people of the Mahajaya or two people studying this, without telling each other what you're doing, and then one tastes the water of the other to validate that it's not a psychological taste. We do this in groups of 50 or 100 people when I give seminars, so that so many people can see that others get results in such a fashion without telling others what they're doing. Yours tastes like chocolate, yours tastes like strawberry. To validate that it's not just convincing themselves in their mind that it was that flavor, okay? And this is where alchemy starts. The bread of the alchemist. Practice takes time. Anyone in a hurry will not succeed, right? And then you'll train your ego. Supernatural is not real. This shit does not exist. And even when you have a success once in a while, there are other times where it just doesn't work, because there's too many aspects of the ego we do not control. Too many aspects in nature we don't control. Okay? Maybe your nervous system was not ready that time. I mean, there's so many aspects to train that if you have success in a transmutation once in a while, you're on the right path. And you're going to have to accept that it's training, meaning it's not going to be quick. That's not how it works, okay? Peace. Funky class. Yeah, the bread of the alchemist. I like it. See you next week.